Hi everybody, I'm Mikey, and this is part of the Advent Calendar series that is a crochet along. For those working on the crochet along with me, every few days a new video will be available to advance you to the next part of your project. There are 15 tutorials in all to complete today's project. If you're finding this and the crochet along is done, all videos will stay up indefinitely. In the more information of this video, you'll find a link to the playlist where all the tutorials will be listed in order for you to play along. The entire pattern is now available for free for those who don't need a video. Refer to the video description to get redirected to the pattern. So in the meantime, let's begin with today's tutorial to advance you to the next step, and of course wishing you the very best of the festive season ahead. So let's move along in the project. We're going to do the Christmas tree here today, and we're also going to do the star. So we're going to do both of these. This is number 2 of the crochet along. For this one, you're also going to need your buttons because we're going to apply our buttons at the end in order to do this. So let's take a look back at the pattern first, and then I'm going to show you what you need to do in order to complete the tree. So on page number 2 is the tree section 1, 2, and 3, and then we go and do the star just like you see here. So what's going to happen is that we're actually starting this tree upside down. So you have to look at this tree from an upside down perspective, and there's a repeat of different instructions just like you see here, and we're going to go through those, and it says to repeat step 4 as you see once you get there, and you'll notice that it increases like a triangle. But the reality is that we have to visualize this thing upside down in order to begin. So with your 5mm size H crochet hook today, let's bring back the tree, and I'll show you how to look at it from this point of view for the pattern. So from this perspective, we're going to be crocheting starting at the tree at the top section just like you see here, and we're going to get a triangle, and then we're going to fasten off. We then are going to start the next section fastening on as we just skip so many stitches, and we do a cross, and then we continue the triangle out again, and then we fasten off, and then the final section we skip so many stitches, go across, and then go as a triangle just like you see here. Let me turn it around. If you need to freeze frame to see where these buttons are, the buttons are incremental just like you see. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the bottom. You have 4 in the middle right here, and then you have 4 along this section here. You have 3 about halfway up. You have 4 along this section here, and then finally the extra 3 right at the very top. So at the end of today's tutorial, we're also going to concentrate on the star, but let's start off with the Christmas tree first. So let's begin with a slip knot, and we're going to create this and insert our hook in. This is using Dark Sage and a 5mm size H crochet hook today. So we have to then chain 2. So 1 and 2, and let's begin row number 1. It says 1 single crochet, second chain from the hook. So just count back. It's the very first one anyway, but you're just going to do 1 single crochet here, and this is the very top of your Christmas tree like so. We're then going to turn your work. So I know it's kind of hard when there's only 1 stitch there, but that's okay. We're going to get through it. So then we're going to go row number 2. So row number 2, it states chain 1 and 2 single crochets in the first single crochet. So just chain up 1, and there's only 1 here anyway. So we're going to put 2 into this one. 1 and 2. Okay. And then we're going to continue. So we're going to turn our work and do row number 3. So row number 3 says chain 1. And it says 2 single crochets in each of the stitches. There's only 2. So you're going to put 2 single crochets into each. So 1 and 2. And then do the next one and select next one over. So 1 and 2. Just like that. Okay, and then we're going to turn our work and do row number 4. So row number 4 is the identical for the remaining of section number 1. We just have to keep on going in the same manner. So we're going to chain up 1 to always start, and in the very first one we're always going to put in 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. And then in the stitches in between there's just going to be 1 single crochet. Okay, and in the last, so there's 2 in a row, and in the last one here there's going to be 2 single crochets. So that was row number 4. So what happens is that you need to increase the tree so there's up to 34 stitches all the way across. So turning your work, just chain up 1 and put in 2 single crochets in the first one. Okay, so 1, and all the sections work like this just so you know it for the future. And then 1 single crochet in each going across, except for the very last one you were going to put a total of 2. So just keep an eye on the stitch counts and just occasionally count, but you can look at the pattern and you can see that you got a little bit of a while to go before you can even get 34 stitches all the way across. So just to review one more time, turn your work, chain up 1, 2 single crochets in the first one, 1 single crochet in each, going across except for the very last one where you'll put in 2 single crochets. So I want you to repeat these steps until you get 34 stitches across, and then just count out just to make sure. And you should know that every time you're doing one row, you're increasing the count by 2 because you're adding 1 extra to the front and the back. And when I come back, so I want you to do that. When I come back, I'll have that done for you. So what I have here is that I have it increased out just like you see here. I've already put on my buttons and my star, but I've increased it out to I got to my 34 stitches all the way across. Then I fastened off. So then moving on to section number 2. Section number 2 is that we're going to skip the first 7 stitches and then fasten on and then go all the way across. And you want to go until you leave the last 7 stitches untouched on the other side, and then you just continue to put 2 single crochets in the first one and the last, and you continue to go out again just like you see until there's 54 stitches going all the way across. Then once you get that done is that you're going to fasten off and start once again on section number 3, skipping the first 7, and then you go all the way across, ending leaving 7 untouched, and then continuing to just go out, putting 2 single crochets on each side and continuing to grow it out like this. Okay, so once you have that done, all you just need to do is then you need to sew this down to the actual project itself, and you can see where they have sewn it right here and behind. So they just went directly right across in order to hold it down into position. So you can see it's kind of dipping down right here because it's sewn right here, and it's also sewn along the edge. When you go to sew, you'll notice that when they sewed, they actually just didn't go all the way through the project when they did that. So they just went in the upper sections here, just into the top fibers in order to hold it down. Then what they just did is then they just took complementary buttons, and we have those buttons as well, and then we can just sew those into position. And let's turn this one upside the other way, and you can get a good idea where all those buttons are. If you need to freeze frame the video, now's the time to do it, so you can see where all the buttons are without any of the decorations on them. And as the week or the days come to go, you just take the decoration from the pocket and then you just hang it onto the tree wherever you want, and this entire tree will be decorated once we get that done. So that's how you do this tree. It's actually really quite an easy section. The hard work really has been done within the actual backdrop for time-wise. All the rest of it then becomes much easier to work with. So without further ado, we're now going to move on to the star. The star is actually really quite an easy one to do, and then you have to then tack that down to the top as well, and you can see that they tacked it just like right in behind here. So let's begin to working on the star next. So let's begin working on the star. You're going to need a gold color, and in the pattern it has all this listed. It's not very much work that's required to do that. And then we just create a center circle, and then we create star points here in order to have it come off the edge. And then once you have that done, you sew it down to the top of your project, just how I just indicated, and therefore it'll be the star on the top of your tree. So without further ado, let's show you how to do that. To create the star, all you're just going to do then is that you are going to start off with a slip knot, and you have to then chain a total of 3. So 1, 2, 3. Then what you're going to do is that you're going to put 10 half double crochets third chain from the hook. So you're just going to wrap the hook first and go into the very first chain, and you want to do that a total of 10 times. So this is a half double crochet, so 1 and 2 this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And once you have that done, you're just going to slip stitch to the first half double crochet. Make sure you go actually to the top of it. Don't go into a chain space because then it will pull it apart. just like that. See, so it's nice and closed. So let's begin round number 2. Chain up 2, which doesn't count as a half double crochet, by the way, and you're going to put 2 half double crochets in each of the stitches going all the way around. So you're going to be putting in 2 into that one, and then 2 into the next one, and so forth. So put in 2 half double crochets in each going all the way around. There should be a total chain count of 20 half double crochets when you go all the way around, and it does matter because it is a star with 5 points in it. Relies on you to have 20. So please do that all the way around, 2 half double crochets into each. So as you get all the way around, you're just going to slip stitch to the top of the first half double crochet, and you're done. So you're going to fasten this off. Now usually in stars we don't do that, but the designer's asking us to. So we fasten off first, and the points work over 4 stitches. So if you think about, there's 20 stitches going all the way around. I'm just weaving it in as I talk to you. Then what happens is that you can have 5 points, which equals a total of 20. So 4 times 5 points equals 20 stitches. So let's begin doing one of the points. So we're just going to start off with a slip knot first onto the needle or hook, and you're going to choose any one of the half double crochets. It really doesn't matter which one you choose because they're all equal. Just fasten it on with the slip stitch, so just pull through and through, and you want to chain 2. Okay, so that doesn't count it as anything. So now you're going to then put the next 2 together. So you just go right into the one you did the join. So wrap the hook first. It's a half double crochet 2 together. Pull through, and then go into the very next one. So wrap the hook and go into the next one and pull through, and you'll have a total of 5 loops on your hook. So you're just going to pull through all 5. So then you're going to do that again with the next 2. So wrap the hook going in, pull through, wrap the hook going into the next one, pull through, and then you'll pull through all 5 loops on the hook. Okay, so just take your time, and then you turn your work. So you technically only have 2 stitches here when you turned. So you're going to then chain up 2, okay, and you are going to put in there half double crochet in each of the next 2. So you're going to do the first one and the next one, and then turn your work, okay, and then you're going to chain 2, and these 2 are going to become together. So just put those a half double crochet 2 together like that, and then you fasten off. So you pull through everything and then fasten off. So there is a point right there. So I'm going to show you one more time just to make sure it's clear. So then you just leave enough of a strand here that you can hide that in, and then you sew that down onto your backdrop. So let's begin to do it one more just to make sure. I'm going to get rid of this strand here. So let's do another point. So just grabbing the yarn, create a slip knot, and we're going to go into the next one. So see where this one is part of that one. So we go into the next one available, going in. Let's fasten it on with the slip stitch and chain 2. Doesn't count as anything, it's a builder. So this one plus the next one is going to be 2 together for half double crochet. Okay, so you got 5 loops on your hook. Pull through all 5 and do the same with the next 2. So just advancing in the next 2. Okay, pull through all 5 loops, and then turn your work. So you're going to chain up 2, and there's only 2 stitches here, so they're only going to be half double crochets, 1 in each this time. So you get like a row without having to think too much about, and then turn your work, chain up 2, and the 2 that you have left, you're going to put those together for half double crochet, just like you see. And then that's it. So you fasten off, and there is another point for you. And you keep doing that until you get 5 points. So once you have that done, is that you can refer to the section and you can sew it down to here. And when you look at the back, you can see that they hid the back section in right here. So all the strands that were in the tails were in the back. You'll never see it anyway. So it's actually pretty easy to do. And therefore you've done your tree and you've done your star. You've got it sewn down. And the next time we come back, in the next video, we are going to work on how to do these pockets. The pockets are relatively easy. They take a little bit of time. Got some slip stitching work in order to create the numbers that you see, But other than that, that's what we're going to be doing next. So I'll see you next time here on the Crochet Crowd, as well as YarnSpirations.com. Bye-bye.